I'm just gonna read this one. It's kind of boring. Today I was. Oh, here's my life is average.
Here's my life is average.
Today I was supposed to be working from home and ended up watching The Price is Right instead.
Yeah, that sounds
I
about
feel
right.
that.
That sounds good.
That's what I used to watch when I was sick growing up. Because there was nothing else on. It was between that and SpongeBob, and for the longest time, my mom didn't let me watch that.
Well, and we didn't have cable, so whenever I was sick, it would be whatever's on TV. So it'd be like PBS Kids.
Yeah.
But that didn't start until after school got out. So it was really like 4 p.m. when you watch Arthur, you know?
Yeah.
Cyber Kids.
Oh,
I loved Arthur.
Cyber Kids. I love Cyber Kids.
It was so good.
Oh, it was the best.
Arthur
I wanted to
was
always
my
finish
favorite.
it.
What was?
Arthur.
I loved Arthur too.
Or when they had those Berenstein Bear commercial or like little show things.
That's one of the Mandela effects that pisses me off. I can't even talk about it. Rip. Rip Berenstein Bears and hello Bernstein
By
Bears.
the way, I have a Mandela effect for you.
Oh boy. It's probably
So,
not. She probably just didn't
is for
spell
me.
it right her whole life.
It is for me, she says.
Okay, so when I first started work, so there's like a stock list of how much stock gets in our they're called Lakeside cards. And I swear on my CNA license.
Oh my god.
Sorry, good.
That we were supposed to put 6 like IV needles in with an IV packet. Well, I've been noticing in the cards that there's only 5. And I'm like, why in the fuck is there only 5? So I would go in and I put a 6th one because I'm like, dude, there's not enough. And so then I was in the workroom and one of our newer girls was like, I hate how people keep putting 6 in with 6 needles in when there's only supposed to be 5. And I like looked at her and go, there's supposed to be 6. And she goes, it's 5. Shows me the stock list sheet and it says 5. But I swear when I first started, it was 6. So I asked my friend Addie and she goes, I swear it's 6. And then everybody else says, no, it's 5. And I'm like, this is a Mandela effect. It was 6.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm still mad about it. I'm gonna be mad forever.
The amount of times I need to cut burps out of this podcast.
Well, this one's gonna be a doozy for you.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
Well, I already drank all my drinks, so we're good.
I'm done with mine too.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
I'm floating now.
You're floating? How many have you had today?
Just the one.
Just the one, but have I
Oh,
eaten
you're
anything?
floating.
No.
Oh.
All right.
Besides ice cream?
Yeah, ice cream.
I had ice cream. Ice cream doesn't soak up
That
alcohol.
doesn't count.
Ice cream is basically a liquid.
All right, let's go. I got
Unsolved mystery time. Murder of Marilyn Sheppard. Anyone heard of it? Anyone?
No.
Anyone?
No, I mean, I like the last name Sheppard, but no.
I know. Every time I was reading it,
Derek.
I was like, Derek Sheppard.
Derek!
And, yeah.
I just want to find
Yeah.
I just want to find my Derek.
Yep.
Oh, he's
just gonna
so
say that.
fine. Even when he looks
Oh,
old.
even
like,
when he's old,
so,
yeah, he's so attractive still.
So attractive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anyway.
Anyway.
Marilyn Sheppard.
Who was it? Who was the other guy I was talking about that I was like, oh no, Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like,
Leo
he's like, I was like, he's like Patrick Dempsey for me. I would in an instant.
Yeah, he still
I don't
looks good.
care how old you are.
Yeah, he aged very well.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
A fine wine. Okay, continue.
Anyway.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Today.
Any day now.
So I was trying to figure out if I wanted to read this part or not. Okay, on July 4th, 1954, Marilyn Reese Sheppard was found brutally murdered inside her home in Bay Village, Ohio. So here's a little backstory. It's kind of a long one, but this is what's happening. So at the beginning, when Marilyn was, I think she wasn't even a year old, she lost her mother to childbirth, and she also lost her brother along the process.
That's awful.
Yeah. And then her father couldn't handle it and sent her to live with her aunt and uncle. Once he remarried, she was sent back to live with him and his new wife.
Nice.
Wow, stellar dad.
Yeah.
Oh, now I have a wife to help. You can come back.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. That's what I was just thinking.
Mhm.
That's sad. So she
His
was...
poor wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so bad. She was given everything she ever wanted, but with no connection with her father. Which,
Okay, I don't feel as bad.
Yeah. But she, that gave her that put a very difficult strain on her relationship with him, as well as, you know, she didn't have anyone else close to her or anything she really connected well with, or anyone she really connected well with, until she met Sam Sheppard. Sorry, I'm going to be doing that a lot.
That's okay.
So, Marilyn met Sam when she was a teenager and found a true connection with him. Sam followed Marilyn to high school because apparently they switched schools. And things began to be serious when Marilyn's sorority hosted a party and Sam was asked to DJ.
He was a DJ?
He was like everything. He was like star of the athletes. Like, he was super intelligent, like all around all-star.
Wow.
person.
Red flag. Huge
Well,
red flag.
Just saying.
I don't know how this ends, but he
Red
probably
flag.
did it.
He did
Because
it.
he was a DJ.
Because he was a
Maybe don't date a DJ again.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Did you date a DJ?
No, it's from Taylor Tomlinson, one of her skits. She's talking about her 20s, and she goes, maybe we don't date a DJ again.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
So funny.
Oh, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Sam was asked to DJ. They became engaged. Marilyn soon left Ohio for upstate New York to attend Skidmore College, a women's liberal arts school. Their relationship thrived through the letters. They wrote love letters to each other every
Of
single
course they
day.
did.
So
Yep.
they were engaged and they were living far enough away that they were only writing letters to each other.
Mm-hmm.
When did this happen?
Wow.
What is the year?
This was like 60s?
Well, I said, yeah, it's like, no, it's
50s. 1954.
It's 1940s.
Okay. I was like, why are we
1940
doing letters?
So that-
He says 54.
I said 54. She died.
Oh.
She got murdered.
So this isn't the 40s.
She was
Yeah.
murdered.
Murdered. Murdered. That's what it was.
Murdered.
Oh my god. We're never gonna get
Nope.
through this.
Okay, go. Okay, literally, that's gonna be a t-shirt. We're never gonna get through this because we say it so many times.
That's a good point. Write it down.
Yep,
Adding
write
it to
down.
the list.
Crap. Where was I? Da-da-da-da-da.
Murdered.
Murdered. Yep.
Murdered.
No,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not
No,
murdered
she's
yet.
not murdered yet.
Jeez.
They're writing letters.
That's what I must remember.
Well, yeah, because you guys, that's like,
Tangent.
it was in the 50s. I was like, no, that
It was
wasn't.
in
She
the
was
40s.
murdered.
That's when she was murdered.
Okay, anyway, so I said this already, but just a reminder, Marilyn soon left Ohio for upstate New York to attend Skidmore College, a women's liberal arts school. The relationship thrived through the love letters they wrote. Soon it became clear that Marilyn became unhappy, especially when Sam forgot to send her a letter. It was the only time he forgot. But the one time he forgot, she was very upset. She ended up not doing well in her classes after that, and ended up dropping out her freshman year, returning to Cleveland, Ohio, and got a clerical job. Marilyn's mother's death and her father's absence caused her to have embedded a mind with fear of abandonment. She was terrified at the thought of Sam leaving her too. Sam soon decided to go to Indiana for school and buried himself in pre-med courses, as well as being involved in football as a starter. Oh my gosh. Marilyn stayed in Ohio and started dating other men with the permission from Sam.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
So Sam's just like, yeah, you can see other guys. That's all right.
No, he encouraged her to explore her options.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're still technically
Yeah.
dating?
They're engaged.
Engaged.
Yep.
So who is
Okay.
he seeing
Yeah.
as well?
Who is he seeing?
I'm
then?
going to get there.
Oh, okay.
So in 1943, Sam went home to Cleveland to take classes over the summer. It was a chance for him to get 3 years of college credits in 2 years. This is when he started dating Rudy Bales, a girl he knew from high school. Marilyn was not happy. He was supposed to be home for the summer with her. She gave him his pin back, because that's what you do
Yeah,
when you're
you get
engaged.
pinned.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he then begged for her to take him back. They got back together and had an even longer distance relationship.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, in the fall of 1944, Sam enrolled at the Los Angeles Osteopathic School of Physicians and Surgeons, where his brothers and father had gone.
Wait a second. So he's going to be a full doctor then.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Why is that interesting?
Because if he murders her later, you know,
And cut her up.
he knows enough about medicine to know enough about the human body to how things,
Yes.
I like how she quietly
Yep.
confirmed that. She goes,
Quietly
She was like,
confirmed that. Yes.
this is why we don't date doctors, guys.
Noted. Blah blah blah. Okay. He wrote to Marilyn every single day, and soon in February 1945, they were married at 21 years old.
Wow.
Do they live together now?
Nope.
Wow.
Man.
Rough life.
They didn't move in right away, but afterwards they started living in LA. They both did. So living in LA was thrilling, and Sam's father, Richard, grew concerned of Sam's drinking and such. So he told them that if they had a baby and started a family, he would increase his monthly allowance to match the pay Marilyn was making as a part-time assistant at a research lab.
They were getting paid by the dad? Did I miss that?
I heard that
I
Sam's
didn't know.
dad is paying him an allowance.
Yes.
As an adult.
And I didn't
21
know
years
that
old.
until later on when he mentioned that. So apparently
That's wild.
Sam's been getting money from him probably his whole life.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I imagine.
I mean, I guess I can see it, but because he said his brother
and his father
went to that school, so like,
and his father
his father's probably a doctor. You know?
he owns like a clinic.
Yeah, so
He
his dad's
owns
probably really well off.
Yes.
Practice, yeah.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yes, he has his own practice. That's
so he
the
can
word.
afford to send his kid money. Like, to be honest, like if you think about it, if you can afford to send your kid money while they're at college, are you probably going to do it? You might.
I think a lot of people nowadays just pay for their college as
as
the
opposed
benefit.
to giving them like money. But back then, if you could afford to pay for like your kids like expenses by giving them an allowance, would you? Probably.
Yeah. My boss actually pays for his kids' college so long as they maintain a certain grade level. Isn't that genius?
That's what
I will be doing that.
My mom
if I can
did
afford
that
it.
to us in high school. Like it was like we reached high school and my mom's like, if you get straight A's, I'll pay you. I didn't get straight A's.
I didn't either, but my grandpa said like for every A you get on your report card, you get $20.
Well, that would have been nice if I got that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you get straight A's, I'll give you some money.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, I know. I'm
No,
not
it was
straight A's,
every
then
A.
stop
You have
trying
one
anyways.
B.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was every A, and I only got it when I was in middle school.
Oh, no.
Because I got like B's. I didn't get A's.
Yeah.
Hey, C's get degrees,
I
man.
was a BC student. So.
That's okay.
C's do not get degrees if you are in nursing school. Remember that.
I'm talking about high school, man.
Oh, high school.
Well, and technically D's.
D's get degrees.
D's get degrees.
C's and D's are where I was at. My graduating GPA was so low. I think I was like at like a 2.0. It was so bad.
Dang,
but to be
girl.
fair, I did spend like a good like half of one of my years in high school like in and out of the hospital for medical problems. So
that makes sense.
And I had
that's
tons of
fair.
surgeries when I was in high school.
Yeah. You get an excuse.
I had an excuse for having really low grades, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sucked.
All right.
Yeah, but okay. Life was great for Sam, but Marilyn had a lot of anxiety about parenting because of the life she had with feeling abandoned and such. Since she became a mother, she wasn't able to join Sam with friends, smoke, drink because she was busy with wife and motherly duties. And she didn't know how to do it, and she wasn't really prepared because no one was there to ever teach her those things.
That really sucks.
Yeah. So it's like, just imagine it like, oh, you're married to someone. They're like, oh, I'll give you guys more money if you guys have a family. And it's like, okay,
but I don't even know how to have a family.
And it's like, do I get a say in this or no? Like, I don't know. So when Sam was home, she would be withdrawn and uninterested because obviously she's depressed, anxiety, all of these things going through her head. But when he left and worked long shifts, she would have panic attacks and feared Sam was cheating on her. Despite her state of mind, Sam was having an affair. He spent long hours with many nurses and doctors' wives. He would have her shipped back to Cleveland Wait, what? So...
I'm sorry.
Oh.
What?
Oh, because, like, they're living in LA, right?
Yes.
So he'd have her shipped back to Cleveland. So she could, the family that they had, like their, his parents and stuff, the family could help with the baby. But there's
Oh.
also thoughts that he did. Oh, you thought like he killed her.
No,
Oh.
the way you said it, he had her shipped back to Cleveland like she was a package.
Yeah.
Like it's just the
Pretty
way
much.
it was
I
worded.
mean, he
I
pretty
didn't
much
like it.
treated her like a bag.
Yeah.
I feel like.
This poor girl.
Yeah.
She didn't know there was more out there for her.
Mm-mm. So. Yeah, so like that's supposedly why he did it, so that the family could help her with the baby. But there's also thoughts that he did this so he could continue to have his affairs with people through the hospital and like not have to worry about having her around.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, not that I think it's true at where I work, but hospitals are a breeding ground for affairs.
Mm-hmm.
You spend a lot of time
Just
with people,
watch
you
Grey's
get real
Anatomy.
close.
I'm just
Yeah, just
kidding.
watch Grey's Anatomy.
I'm just saying, like when you work in the OR, like I'm not saying that there's affairs everywhere, but like when you work in the OR, you really get close to people. You know if somebody had a bad lunch and they had diarrhea, like you know a lot about them. Because you work really
It's
closely
like,
with them.
oh, I think I kind of like that.
Diarrhea, yeah.
No, that's not what I meant.
No, I can think of like
Lord.
one specific coworker who last week was like, "Man, I had that one of those egg salad sandwiches from the lunchroom and it wrecked my stomach. Like explosive diarrhea.
Oh
like I was in the bathroom for like 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
And
I
I was
didn't
like-
need to know that.
I was like, I didn't need to know that. I didn't know. I don't know why you even told me this.
La 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 la.
La, 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 la. Can somebody turn the music off?
All right. Eventually, one of his affairs with a woman named Margaret became all-consuming. He confessed to Marilyn, and she was heartbroken. She decided to get revenge instead of a divorce by telling Sam's father about the affair.
Lovely.
So, when Sam went to visit Marilyn in the summer of 1950, because she was back in Cleveland, his family confronted him. It was an intense intervention to prevent future mishaps. His family encouraged him to move back home. So the dad was like, "Oh, you can work at my clinic and practice there and all that jazz."
The temptation will leave you.
Mm-hmm.
Never works.
No. In
Temptation
May.
stays.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Oh my god.
Apparently.
It's Rachel's mom. Our friends.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
Okay.
I knew what you were saying.
I know. It's funny because
And I was agreeing.
I was watching Friends the other night.
No, I love Friends.
I was
Mhm.
watching Friends this morning actually. Oh, I started with the first episode because we all know that's my favorite.
Yep. Yeah.
I really wish I could. I just don't want to.
Okay. In May 1951, they moved back to Ohio, and his father gave him the money to buy a home on Lake Erie. Their new beginning was destroyed 3 years later when Marilyn was murdered. I don't know why I put that there.
I love how you worded that. You're like, their new beginning was destroyed because then Marilyn got murdered 3 years later.
And I'm not even past the
history yet.
Yeah, I'm like, why did I put that? I think it's because my resource was a podcast, so it was more dramatic.
Yeah.
Well, we're also a podcast, so we can be
We
dramatic.
can be dramatic.
I like it.
That's the advertisement break.
And scene.
And scene.
Okay, so Susan Hayes became another woman Sam ended up having an affair with.
Of course she did.
She received frequent rides to work, spending time together in and out of work. The affair went on from 1951 to 1953, and everyone knew and gossiped about it. Marilyn turned a blind eye, and things started to get intense in public. Around 1952, Susan took a different job in a different hospital, almost married another doctor, but while that was happening, still had some flings with Sam. Her fiance broke the engagement off because of that. Susan moved to Los Angeles, and in March 1954, so this is after supposedly they ended their affair, Sam went there with Marilyn on a business trip for his neurosurgery certification. Sam sent Marilyn up to stay with one of his old mentors and his family, and as soon as she left, Sam called up Susan to resume their affair.
Nice.
He brought her to places as a date, to poker nights, weddings, and other things, and even in front of people who
I'm sorry,
also
he
know
Brought her to weddings?
Mm-hmm. I don't
Fucking
know
men,
the
man.
audacity of this man.
Yeah.
Like, how do you...
How?
And, like, and this was also in front of people who knew Marilyn. And, like, in the script it said, like, the girls were talking about, like, oh, poor Marilyn, I feel bad for her, like... And then, but then some of these girls worked for Sam, so it's like they can't really say anything because they're afraid of losing their job. So then they're like,
Yep.
okay, I guess we can just give him a nasty look, or like, I'm just like, really, what's that gonna do?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Feels-
could all quit at the same time.
I know, but I feel so bad. Well, yeah, back in that day though, like quitting a job as a woman and like, I don't know,
Yeah, it's probably a lot different.
and like, I don't know.
That's true. It was probably harder
I feel
to
like
find
it was
a job
harder
in
Yeah.
general. Because they're just like, you're a woman. Why do you want to work?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
not hiring you.
Pretty much.
We're only hiring men. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. So before Sam and Marilyn left Los Angeles, he begged Susan to write him at the office. So before they headed back home. When they returned to Ohio, it seemed he stopped fooling around until a few months later he received a love letter from Susan.
Okay. Sorry. I realize
Sorry.
I'm interrupting a lot. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But why?
It's juicy.
I know. Why doesn't he just leave her and go be with Susan?
I know.
Because obviously this isn't like one of the other affairs where, like...
They're married though, and back then it was different. I feel like
Yes.
you couldn't just get a divorce and move on.
Well,
Yeah,
she
that's
said,
what was
she said something
mentioned.
though when he had the first affair about not getting a divorce and staying for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he could have just been like, I don't love you.
Well,
Like,
the
he
reason
could
he
have at
told,
least...
because Susan talked to him and was like, what is this? Like when I didn't put this in there because I didn't think that question would matter, but if you want to know. So like before, so when he was begging Susan to write him when they go back home, she's like, what are we doing? Like, why you're never going to leave her, so why do I bother?
feel that.
And she's like, you'll never leave her, and why? Like, I don't get it. He's like, well, she's a good mother to my son, and I don't know what I would do, like, if, we got divorced, and how would that affect my family with the job that I have? Because it's, like, a very, like, high demanding job. Like, he's constantly in the office and stuff. So it's, like, if you split custody and things back then, it's, like, they probably didn't understand, like, or, like, have those stereotypical, like, you can split the work, or, like, you can,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So, yeah.
at the same time, it's just like, he obviously does not love his wife.
Right.
And Susan's obviously the one for him. So then
Right.
Yep.
he could at least, like, tell her so she could find the one for her and they could just
Mm-hmm.
be together, but also be with other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just suddenly have, like, a poly relationship or
Yep.
something. An open
Yeah.
relationship. There we
An
go.
open relationship. Blah, 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 blah. Where was I? Shoot.
Begging her to write him at the office.
Oh.
Received a love letter from Susan.
What? I missed that.
He received a love letter from Susan 2 months later. That's where we ended.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he received a love letter from Susan, like, a couple months later at the office. And some of the coworkers, like one of the receptionists, found the letter and opened it because it looked like it was supposed to be for the clinic. And she told her husband about it. And then her husband talked to Sam about it, and he's like, please don't mention this. Please make sure your wife is more careful about opening, like, letters that are addressed to me or whatever for the clinic. I don't know. And then probably because he wanted to keep it under wraps.
Yep.
But then, crap, where is it? Dang, I keep going back on accident. Oh, but then Marilyn found a gift receipt for a golden diamond watch and confronted Sam because she's always wanted one of those,
Mm-hmm.
and she never got it.
But Susan did.
I'm about
Susan
to die.
got
over
it.
there.
And she was like, all you have ever given me for gifts is money. And he's like, oh, well, I got us a motor for the boat. She's like, yeah, a wife really wants a motor for a boat for Christmas.
Wow, thank
Yeah.
you so much for this
Yeah.
gift that I'm so gonna use by myself.
I guess the watch was worth $651 in our money today. That's insane for a watch.
I don't think I would kill somebody over that. That is the equivalent of somebody getting of your spouse getting somebody else an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Because Apple Watches are like
they're pretty
$530,
expensive.
so that's pretty close.
Yeah.
But diamonds, man, damn.
Yeah.
I would be so mad.
I'd be so mad.
I'd be like, you know what? I want a watch. I'm gonna go buy one. Oh, we can't afford it? That's really unfortunate for you. I guess you're gonna have to work a little harder. Huh?
Figure it out.
I'd be unhinged.
Okay, so eventually there was a Christmas party coming up. So at the Christmas party, Marilyn confronted two of the hosts who knew about the affair, who saw the letter from Susan. So, this is that receptionist and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
She was out for revenge and wanted to do something about the marriage. But in spring of 1954, let's backtrack here. She never received any input from them. They kind of redirected because they didn't want to get fired. So she wanted to do something about the marriage, but then in the spring of 1954, she realized she was pregnant.
Oh.
Yep.
It's always that they become pregnant and then they get fucked.
Mm-hmm. The relationship was still strained, and Sam was unamused by Marilyn and had hoped it would help their relationship and marriage. What? Wait, what?
He hoped that, or she hoped that?
Wait, Sam was unamused. Oh, but Marilyn had hoped that. Sorry, I don't know what I even read.
What, did she get off birth control and be like, you know what? We'll help him.
This will fix
a
it.
baby.
A baby always.
No,
fixes
I think
it,
she
right?
once she realized she was pregnant, I think she was like, "Oh, I hope this fixes
after the fact."
Yeah,
That's
after the
not
fact.
how it works, honey.
Well, I'm just saying that's what it's.
I know. I'm saying this to her.
Oh, I was like, I'm
me.
just saying what I read.
I'm like, that is not how it works, honey. A pregnancy is not gonna fix it.
No,
A girl can dream though.
So in the summer of 1954, they broke the news to friends and family, and it seemed like things were getting better. Marilyn and her husband, Sam Sheppard, a neurosurgeon who lived in Ohio, just reiterating that.
That is so funny.
With their son and another child on the way.
Oh my god.
This is where Derek Sheppard came from.
Maybe.
Inspiration.
No, that's what I thought when I was reading
Really?
it. I was like,
That's
no
so funny.
way.
It's so funny that
No
he's a
freaking
neurosurgeon.
way.
So Marilyn was a part of many local activities and charities.
Marilyn. Meredith.
I knew as soon as you said Marilyn, the way you said it,
Marilyn.
I knew exactly where you were going.
This was inspiration for Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, snap. We found out your secret.
It is. Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay,
Wait, what's this guy's name though?
Sam.
Dang. That's
Okay,
not
but
anything with a D.
hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah,
hear me
but
out.
their dad's name was Richard.
Dick.
Dick.
Derek. But do you remember in the last season that Derek's on, how he goes away for this research and there's this girl at his research.
Yeah.
And then he realized he wanted to be with Meredith, and then he's like, we're gonna talk all about this, like we're gonna work on this, and then he dies.
Mm-hmm.
I did forget about that actually.
Yeah, which is why the last she was in she was like, I'm not gonna worry about it. She's like, because we've kind of been on the fruits anyway, so whatever. She's like, I'll worry about it after 5 p.m. And then 5 p.m. comes, and she's like, okay, I'm worrying about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta watch that again. It's been so long.
I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
When George died, oh my god, I cried so bad.
That was the hardest.
I cried
That
when
was so-
Mark died really hard.
Yeah,
I
that
was
so
really sad because he
hated
had a
that.
surge. And I freaking hate surges. They make me so sad because he was so fine, and it was because he wasn't going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's totally a thing, by the way. It does actually happen. It's people who are going to die will seem like they're getting better, and then the next day they'll be dead.
They're gone. Yeah, that's
Or-
what
sad.
happened to Larry's dad.
It is.
They were like, "Oh, he looks like he's doing better today, actually," and it was the next morning he passed.
That's
Aw.
always how it
Mhm.
is. I had one resident that I loved that I was talking to him, and when I was working in the nursing home, I was just fresh out of high school, and it was like 2018, and that was like that was like a year after high school, and I took 4 years of French, so I was very fluent still in my French, and we would just talk to each other in French all the time. And he just like got really sick, and he was dying. And then there was one day I like walked into his room, and he said in French, he goes, "Lexi, he goes, it's so great to see you today, you look so happy." And I was like, "Dude, you're awake."
Mm.
And then the next day he died, and I was so sad.
That's so
Yeah.
sad. Man.
That's crazy.
That's
know.
really sad.
All right, off the tangent.
Off bunny trail number 47.
I don't even know where I was. Blah, blah, blah.
She just got pregnant, and they broke the news to everybody.
Marilyn and her husband, Sam Sheppard, a neurosurgeon. Oh, yeah, I would know.
Yeah, the neurosurgeon.
Neurosurgeon, yep.
There we go.
Marilyn was part of many local activities and charities. They were considered to be part of the community's upper class since Sam was a very successful medical neurosurgeon. They were actively social and had a close circle of friends. Despite being seen as the perfect little family and having the perfect little life, there was a lot of tensions in their marriage even after this news was shared. On Saturday, July 3rd, 1954, was a typical day for the Sheppards. Sam had a hard day at work, but got home to get ready to go to a dinner with some friends, Dawn and Nancy Ahern, I think. I don't know. Ahern, I think
Acorn.
No, it's not Acorn. I knew you were going to say something like that.
I do it every time you struggle. I just find the closest
Acorn.
word and I throw it
Acorn.
out there.
So they gathered for drinks and were having a great time, but Sam was called to the hospital and then came back later to the Ahern's house.
Jeez. To the Acorn's house.
Acorn's house.
Mr. and Mrs. Acorn.
Acorn.
Oh my god, you guys.
That is like a legit so cool last name.
Okay.
Acorn, like the nut.
Oh my god.
Nuts?
You're
I
nuts.
like nuts.
You're nuts.
Peanuts. I don't remember what it is.
Peanuts, walnuts.
Walnuts, coconuts,
Coconuts.
coconuts. I hate coconuts.
Oh my god.
Sorry, go ahead.
So after the adults put the children to bed, they wanted to keep their party going. They thought of watching a movie, so Sam and Marilyn shared an armchair, but partway through the movie, he moved to a sofa to nap. According to Nancy, Marilyn tried to wake Sam, but he went right back to sleep, and no one wanted to watch the film after a while, because apparently it was boring. The Aherns decided to show them out because since everyone was tired, but Marilyn wasn't fully asleep, so I'm confused. I can't remember if they were at Ahern,
The Ahern's house?
The Acorn's house.
right, at their house, and then they saw themselves, I'm so confused because they saw themselves out, like,
The Aherns.
why wouldn't they? I'm so confused.
Were the Aherns at the Sheppards? I mean, that's what it was.
No. Because it said that they went to the Aherns' house. Unless they came back, like, I wonder if when they put the kids to sleep, they came over to their house or something. Because it says that the Aherns were let out of their house. And the whole thing is what happened when she got murdered. They were saying, like, oh, well, when Marilyn let us out of the house, she didn't lock the door. Like, but who needs to lock the door when you have a man in the house? That's basically what they said. Like, so it's like, I don't know.
Such a good argument.
But it's like, you don't understand. Like, I don't know.
It must have been like the
I
party,
don't know when
the party
they
was
swapped.
at their house. At some point, they went back to the Sheppards.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. They're at the
So
Sheppards'
I had
house.
to explain that because I was confused.
Yep.
And so they left. But around 4:30 a.m., Sam was ripped from his sleep and woke up to Marilyn screaming and calling out his name. Sam charged upstairs. This is all according to Sam, by the way. Sam charged upstairs into the bedroom and saw a white figure with bushy hair. The person's identity was masked from the dark. Sam became knocked out and woke up later on his bedroom floor. Sam said he took Marilyn's pulse and said she was gone. After that, he rushed into his son's room, and he was fast asleep still. Sam said he then heard a noise from downstairs and chased the intruder out of the house down to the beach. okay. They had a fight, and there was a struggle, and said the intruder choked him, and he passed out again. So, like, Sam passed out again. He woke up half in the water without his shirt and with one shoe. Sam said it was a blur going back home and thought he was disoriented and a victim of a dream. He said he paced what? I don't know what I meant to say there. He said that I think he re-examined his wife and searched for a number and tried to figure out what to do or who to call. He found his friend Spencer's phone number. So Jay Spencer Hawk, and I think it's Hawk or Howick, I don't know, and his wife Esther were some of their close circle friends, and Spencer was the mayor of Bay Village, where they lived. At 5:40 a.m., so this is how long, like, after, so it's 4:30, 5:40, almost, it's over an hour. Yeah.
She's been dead.
Yeah, and so Spencer receives a phone call. So it took him that long to call. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Spencer received a phone call from Sam Sheppard with him saying to get over to the house quick. I think they've killed Marilyn, and then hung up. Who's they? Who's they?
Yeah.
Tell me that much.
Okay. Hear me out. Couple things I'm hearing. How did their son not wake up to Marilyn screaming?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both know. I don't know how old their son is. But I would guess if they're having a second baby, 5 or under.
Yeah, I would say
Probably.
So. Yeah.
If you were screaming, Owen would come running.
Mm-hmm.
If he was asleep.
Yep.
If he was in another room, he would come running.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, and that is a common 4-year-old thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because of, like, back then, you know, like, the moms really were their world, like, because the dad was, especially if he's so absent at work.
Mm-hmm.
So it boggles my mind how their child did not wake at all and was sound asleep.
Yeah.
That's
so his
what gets me.
his hour and 10 minutes of not calling, though, includes his part of the story of being knocked out.
Yes,
Yep.
To be
it
fair.
does. So to be fair, that like
he could have been knocked out for most of that time, according to what his story is.
but there's really no way to know.
No, because he's lying. So
Because he's lying.
Because he definitely killed
did
her.
it.
Because he did it. I don't know why, but he definitely did it.
You done did it.
He did done it. He did done fucked up.
Her.
He murdered her.
Okay.
Jordan's like, you guys don't even know.
So Spencer and his wife went over to the house and found Sam in the den, sitting in a chair, clutching his neck with no shirt on, with a lot of blood on his pants.
Why has he got blood on his pants, man?
Probably from when he was trying to see if Marilyn was a lot like, I don't know.
I honestly call BS on that because you can check somebody's pulse without even touching them besides your 2 fingers.
There was blood everywhere. Anyway, I'm getting to there.
Okay.
I'm getting to that.
Okay, not there yet.
I mean, it
Chill
probably
out.
doesn't explain the pants thing, but I'm just saying, like, the scene and stuff I'll get to.
Okay. I'll determine it then.
So they went upstairs to Marilyn and saw she had been beaten to death. Her pajama top was up, and her pajama bottoms were pulled down. Her face was beaten and unrecognizable. Blood covered the whole bedroom. The first officer on the scene came at 5:57 a.m. and surveyed the chaos. He was a traffic cop, so I don't know why they called him a traffic cop.
Why would they have called a traffic cop?
It's like calling the ticket policeman. In
Yeah,
the
the ticket
parking
guys.
ramp. Hey, there's a murder over here. Can you come check it out?
He'd be like, no, but I'm nosy, so let's go.
Yeah, no, but I'll come because I want to see what's happening.
So he saw, this traffic cop, he came in, he saw Sam's black medical bag spilled out in the entry hall. In the living room, the drawers were removed from the desk, and the officer noticed 2 broken trophies on the ground, one from Marilyn and one for Sam. So, I don't know. That was just like what was specified from what he saw when he went in. The officer called for backup, and Sam's brother Richard arrived at the scene. The crime scene was treated very poorly.
Of course it was. It was the 50s.
Mm-hmm. The police allowed someone who was driving by the house on site at the crime scene
Oh my gosh.
to see what was going on. They also let Sam leave the crime scene without questioning him.
Oh, nice.
Soon the rest of Sam's family showed up and ended up taking care of Sam and bringing him to the family-owned hospital. Side note, could have been a way for them to buy Sam some more time to get his story straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the prints collected at the crime scene weren't clear enough to submit for evidence. There was no weapon found. There was no forced entry. The drawers were stacked neatly, like someone took time with it. The detective felt Sam was immediately the prime suspect and wanted to go to the hospital to question him. It looked like a staged robbery. Sorry. When the body was examined, it seemed that there were major steps that were missed. While examining, it was noticed Marilyn's fingernail was torn off, indicating there was a struggle and that she may have scratched her intruder. It was noted that there was a white substance found in her genitals, but it was unclear what the substance was.
Oh,
They
Yeah,
didn't
seriously.
test it?
No. There wasn't a rape kit ordered, and there wasn't an investigation to see if there was genital bruising or tearing or any of that.
Nice.
Gerber, who was the coroner, was the one making the orders based on the examination, and he was determined that and sure that the murder was an act of domestic violence, and it was said that Marilyn died from massive facial wounds, and there was I forgot to say that. And but there were no like particles or like evidence like marks from the weapon left on the wounds that should have been there if there was a weapon used to like murder, unless it was metal. I don't know. Anyway,
Even if it was metal, there probably would be some sort of residue.
I don't know though. Back then, they probably don't
yeah,
have
I-
any kind of testing for
I
that.
don't know.
Well, I mean, they might have tests to like test for metal, you know, like.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, a white substance, but you didn't check that substance for
know.
DNA.
Yeah.
That's
But
what's
back
sketchy about
then-
the coroner
I
because
don't
it's
know
like
if they had DNA back
did
then.
he
That's why I said.
but
Yeah.
they had a well it said maybe they didn't have, I don't know. But anyway, I think it's sketchy that the coroner was like automatically obviously it's super suspicious and I would think it was Sam too. But like
He
you
didn't
doing your
even-
job,
Yeah,
he
you
didn't
still
even
have to do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't
So
even
it's like,
think any other
did he even
possibility.
did he have a vendetta against the Sheppards, like the family? Because they were all very well known in that area, and like,
Or
I
he
don't
was
know.
just like open and shut case. It was the guy, you know,
Yeah.
and then just like
I mean,
true.
get it over with.
You are statistically more likely to be murdered by your husband
Yep.
than anybody else in the entire country.
Yep.
So